Hi everyone, Joe Convertino Jr., Paul Banuski for our weekly HR Minute. Paul, I want to talk to our viewers a little bit. You had spoken to some of our team members today about an email you received from a client regarding disability or sickness. They were let go or resigned and no longer part of the employment process. How does that work with disability, statutory disability, and possibly providing coverage if they're no longer working at the employer?
Yep, it's a great question, Joe. And so the client basically said, we had an employee who recently left and then got in touch with us because they had become sick and were inquiring about disability coverage. And the answer is that New York State statutory disability actually can cover an employee up to 4 weeks after they leave a job. So if you're an employer, you have an employee who leaves, and if it's still within that 4-week period, they contact you because they've contracted an illness, they've injured themselves at home, they may still be eligible for disability coverage under your policy as the employer.
Under statutory New York State disability.
Statutory disability.
Okay.
And so the big thing with that is that's sort of at home, personal time injury or illness. Now, when it comes to workers' comp, it's a little bit more complicated because workers' comp is for on-the-job injuries or illness. So, hopefully most of the time, God forbid somebody gets hurt on the job, gets sick on the job, right? You'll know about it, it'll be processed as a work comp claim. But what happens now if all of a sudden you have an employee who's no longer with you and they come back and say my injury or my illness was caused by something that happened on the job?
Still has to be the proof of burden to
Yes.
that if they review the claim, investigate the claim, but all employers, I know that piece, with workers' comp laws, that would be compensable if they did get injured prior to when they left.
Correct. If it was a real on-the-job injury or related to their on-the-job duties, right, then it becomes a workers' comp case. So really, for that time period when an employee leaves, as an employer, you still want to have their contact information. You may still hear from them if they get sick off the job. And again, depending on the nature of the situation, they may be eligible for New York State statutory disability, or potentially, again, depending on the exact nature of the claim, workers' comp.
As you always say, document policies and procedures. So to learn more about this information today with disability, if someone is no longer employed, or you have that example with workers' comp where they left and they're trying to bring a claim, feel free to call Paul or any of us here at CH Insurance. Have a great week, day, and weekend, and remember, we're in your corner.